Let's talk about money and cardboard. I'm going to take you through the top 10 most expensive Universus cards. And then after, I'll talk about the most expensive symbols, some cards that I think are good buy low candidates, the best sealed product to buy. We're just going to do a general market update. And this is actually really good to do before a major event like the Atlanta and the United Kingdom regionals coming up here soon and the Oceania regional, because the cards that are most expensive are typically the cards that are seeing the most competitive play. So you can kind of get an idea for the types of decks that you're going to see at these events. Before we jump into the top 10, we have a lot of cards just outside the top 10 in the $15 to $20 range. Once you pass the ceiling of $20, that's where you really get into top 10 most expensive cards in the game. This is a pretty affordable game, I would say, to get into. And so it's very, very rare for a card to pass $20. But here we have 10 examples of cards $15 to $20. We see staple ultra rares like Chimera Kraken, Vile Seizing, Rejuvenating Smash. We're seeing secret rares that maybe aren't as much staples as those, but they're more rare, so their price is going to go up. Repeated, Gigantification, Whirling, True 100%. A Foundation, Ultra Rare Foundation, Incredible Display. I think this just had a buyout on TCG Player, so the price could be going up. I think it was about $17 last I saw it. And then Lightning Rod and Luna Tejeras, these were Mikasa cards that were just a couple weeks ago. They were at $40 a card, and they've since kind of crashed with the errata to Mikasa being weapons only. Obviously, neither of these are weapons, but they're still in the $15 to $20 range. I think Lightning Rod will probably stay there. I could see Luna staying there. I could also see Luna falling a little bit more. But these are the cards just outside of our top 10. Coming in at number 10, we have a pair of rares. Not even ultra rares or secret rares. We got a pair of rares here. They're both death symbol staples at about $22. Botan's Coaching. Good. If you're playing Death, Order, or Void, you're probably 4xing Botan's Coaching. That's what's pushing this value so far up. Risky Encounter right now, I think, is like a top 5 card in the game. I said as much as soon as it was revealed. When these first hit the market, I bought them from Red Riot Games at $4 a card. So I jumped on Red Riot as soon as they put up their singles. I saw these at $4. I snap bought them. Now they're all the way up at $22. We're going to be seeing Risky Encounter everywhere. When a rare hits above $20, that means it's like a must play in all decks on its symbols. And that's really where Risky Encounter is right now. If you're playing a death character, you're probably including at least 1 copy of Risky. A lot of times you're including at least 3. Coming in at number 9, we have Genkai's Guidance, $24 secret rare. This is kind of interesting because this is a card that you're not typically 4xing in a deck. If you have 1 or 2, that's typically where you want to be. But it does have 5 symbols, and I think that's what kind of pushes its value up here. Number 8, we have Ice Sword Execution, maybe the worst art of any of these cards here. But that can be forgiven because it's very, very powerful at the moment, especially into a popular character like King Ghidorah. I suspect we'll see a lot of Ghidorah in Atlanta, and getting to say, hey, commit all of your unmatched quicknesses, commit all of your relentless challengers can be very, very powerful. The $27, I'm not sure how accurate this is because for a long time, this was an $8 card. But about 2 weeks ago, its value just shot up on TCG Player. I think it was completely bought out. And so people took it up, sellers took it up to a higher cost. And I've seen a couple sales at about $27. So this is one I'm kind of curious on. Do you think that this is just the new normal for Ice Sword Execution? Or do you think this is kind of an artificially inflated price? I'm not saying that my prices here are perfect. We're a very, very small game. And so the markets, sometimes you have to kind of squint your eyes to get an accurate view. So I'm going to put Ice Sword Execution here at $27 because I saw a couple sales at this price, and it would not surprise me. Very, very strong in the meta. Coming in at number 7, we have Amajiki's favorite kill condition, Armor of the Wolf. This is a card that I love. The kill condition in my Amajiki deck that I got top 8 in St. Louis, the kill condition in my Chaos Mirio deck that I got top 8 in the webcam event in February, $28. It says EX3, powerful 3, damage to everything in your momentum. We have all sorts of ways to snap this into our momentum. Solid card. Coming in at number 6, we have Battle Aura Release, $32. This is just a 4 high 4 draw card basically, and it's going to become like a 4 high 6, 4 high 8. It's doing two things at once. It's being a solid kill condition and it's being a solid flow card. You might have noticed a pattern here in that number 6, this is Battle Aura Release from Yu Yu Hakusho, Armor of the Wolf is Yu Yu Hakusho, Ice Sword Execution is Yu Yu Hakusho, Genkai's Guidance is Yu Yu Hakusho, and Botan's Coaching is Yu Yu Hakusho. Yu Yu Hakusho was a set that undeniably took up the power level of the game in the standard format. So even though it's a little bit of an older IP, the art looks a little more dated compared to the newer IPs, these cards are still so good that you have to have them in your decks. Okay, our top 5. First off, we have Black Abyss from the latest My Hero Academia Girl Power set, $34 a card. This is actually lower than what it's been. It was really sitting at like $40 to $50 for a while, but again, it's one of these momentum-based cards. You put it into your momentum, and then you can give +1/+1 depending on how many copies of Black Abyss you have in your momentum. Characters like Amajiki, characters like Toga 3, very, very strong in the meta right now, can stack these into your momentum very quickly. We get Friend of Animals to do it. Solid card. Even characters like Godzilla like it just because it gives your next check to play an attack +1. At number 4, we have Falling Skies at $40. This is actually lower than what it's been in the past. There was a time where this was like a $60 card, I believe. It's just amazing stats. And you like it early in the game because you can make it a throw and then you can get your momentum. So momentum-based characters like it, but high attacks are very, very strong in these symbols. This pairs really nicely with like Battle Aura Release here from number 6. On the Earth symbol, you go Battle Aura Release into a Falling Skies. You're getting +1/+1 for every single high attack in your card pool. It counts itself, so it comes in at just base 4 high 6, which is solid stats, especially for a throw. Throws typically have like 3 block modifiers. Here we have a 1 low block. Falling Skies is just overpowered in every single sense. At number 3, we have Deception Dagger. This was a secret rare that was at less than $15 for the longest time, but it has just gotten more and more meta relevant. First off, the stun 2 and then in your momentum flipping to give stun 2, that's just solid right there, especially in Toga 3 and Amajiki, who again are very meta characters. But the top enhance of removing a card from your rival's discard pile, now you can remove their combined fire powers. Now you can remove their risky encounters. We have characters like Elder Toguro that are playing from their discard pile, characters like King Ghidorah that are playing from their discard pile. The more discard pile shenanigans we get, the better and better Deception Dagger gets as well. $43, fully justified. Number 2, we have Walk the Dog, another Yu Yu Hakusho card. This is actually a card that I got to reveal as a content creator. I knew as soon as I saw it that this is just nuts. You can go and watch my reveal video and see my reaction to it. It's just a 6/6 on a 4 diff that draws a card and has powerful 3 and has stun 1. I mean, we talked about Battle Aura Release just being nuts for being a great flow card and a great kill card. Walk the Dog is like juiced up Battle Aura Release. It's even better. And it's a 2 low block instead of a mid block. Honestly, what's not to like? We're getting Paul Phoenix coming in soon, who has the order symbol and can give everything stun 2. He's going to make Walk the Dog crazy consistent. The $45 is perfectly justified. It will stay there. It might even go up. Would not be surprised if 1 year from today, Walk the Dog is sitting at $80 a card. Honestly, wouldn't be surprised. Number 1, the most expensive card in the game. Now, this one was a surprise to me. Secret rare from Attack on Titan, Midst of Despair, $50. So if you need this card, then you're probably in the midst of despair, because Ymir is going to be a very popular character, top 10 right now. So we might see more Ymirs than we're expecting in Atlanta. This is telling me that like Toga 1 might be legit in Atlanta. That's a character that's been getting a lot of hype that I didn't even have in my top 30. Looking back on it, it's like, oh my gosh, I really made a mistake. Probably should have been in my top 30. But we're seeing Gamer Toga make a big comeback with Midst of Despair, Risky Encounter, Combined Firepower, all of this leading into Alleyway Ambush. You can play this on a Death Symbol Toga 1 deck if you like, on an Evil Toga 1 deck, because it's an attuned symbol card. Just very solid, 5 high 6 if you've gained health. And then if it hits, the next one ignores progressive difficulty. So if we play this as like our third attack, and then we can play another one ignoring progressive, and then we can play our alleyway ambushes. Very solid. I'm sure basically any character that gains health and has the life symbol probably wants to be playing one or two of this card. But I think the biggest reason that it's at $50 is simply that we had 13 secret rares in Attack on Titan. So 13 secret rares in Attack on Titan, it makes sense for the best one to be really expensive because you have to open so many boxes to get one. So there you have it. That is our top 10. Mist of Despair, Walk the Dog, Deception Dagger, Falling Skies, Black Abyss, Battle Order Release, Armor the Wolf, Ice Sword Execution, Genkai's Guidance, Risky Encounter, Botan's Coaching. So with that in mind, let's take a look at the most expensive symbols currently in Universus. And if I had to choose, it would be Death, Chaos, and Earth. Earth, you're using like Falling Skies and Battle Order Release, Black Abyss, Chaos. We saw you got Deception Dagger, Walk the Dog, Armor of the Wolf. On the Death symbol, you got that Botan's Coaching, Risky Encounter combo there. Also cards like Battle Aura Release. I think Deception Dagger has Death as well. And I think Chaos is probably the most expensive out of these three. So take a look. This is the attack lineup that I used in Amajiki to get top 8 in St. Louis. If you add up the price of all of these cards, you get $550. Guys, this is why I double sleeve my cards, because just the 20 attacks here that make up this attack lineup is basically the cost of a case, of an entire case. But I will let you in on a secret. I actually don't own a single Deception Dagger or a single Black Abyss. I borrowed those from my brother. So if you're getting into the game, it really, really helps to know people who do have the cards that you need. I have my playset of Armor of the Wolf and Kraken, just not of those other two. I feel very, very silly that I didn't jump in on Deception Daggers at like $13 a card. I was lucky to get my Walk the Dogs at $20 a card when Yu Yu Hakusho first released, and now those have appreciated a good sum of money. Okay, that's not to say that all attack lineups that are competitively viable in this game are expensive. This is the attack lineup of Void Rodan, a list that George used to win the June webcam tournament. And I think if you added all these cards together, it probably comes out to less than $30. Maybe a little bit more, but like there are symbols that are cheap and attack lineups that are cheap that you can do well at competitive events with. It's just that it's not going to be the Chaos symbol. If you want to play Chaos, you got money. Okay, the best sealed product right now to buy, I think it's hands down Yu Yu Hakusho. We saw 6 of the top 10 most expensive cards are Yu Yu Hakusho. Obviously, nothing is guaranteed, but it's kind of guaranteed that if you buy a box of Yu Yu Hakusho right now at $90, that's what they go for on TCG Player. Like Rochester CCG is selling these things for $90. You will not lose money opening Yu Yu Hakusho. You're just not gonna lose money. You could just have the worst luck in the world, and you just open up knife edge death matches, shape shifting impalements, dragons of the darkness flame. So I'm not saying it's guaranteed, but if you're a new player, you're looking to get into the game, and you're saying, what product should I be buying to not only make a decent amount of money, but also to get competitively viable cards? It's hands down Yu Yu Hakusho. If your local game store has any of these left, these have actually been completely sold out by UVS Games, and as far as we know, they will not be printing more, which means that since they're going to be standard legal for the next couple of years, their prices are only going to be going up as the boxes are harder and harder to find. Honestly, it amazes me that they're only $90. I think, if I was an investor and just had some money to spend right now, I would just be buying like a case of Yu Yu Hakusho and just sitting on it maybe for a little bit. Or you could just open it and you're going to get some solid cards and some solid value. You could probably just open it and make some money selling the cards. Okay, let's talk about some cards that are buy low candidates in my opinion. I'm just going to give you 3. I'm not going to pretend like I did a ton of research into this. I did this in like 10 minutes. I just scanned cards and I thought, yeah, these 3 look good. And I tried to get them at different price points. Repeated 100% Smash. Right now, this is a $15 card. I remember when this was called Repeated $100 Smash. because it was so key. Now, that was when we had Back Alley Haymaker still on the life symbol. Life symbol punches were very, very good. Life Overhaul was winning events. Andrew Holder taking it down with like a tongue whip. Back Alley Haymaker repeated, if I remember correctly. George winning nationals with the repeated $100 smash overhaul deck. So there was a time when this was the most expensive card in the game. You know, the Mighty has certainly fallen down to $15. It's getting included with like the likes of Incredible Display. How embarrassing for something that was once royalty. But I think it could be coming back to like $30, $40, $50 range. We have Paul Phoenix coming soon, who has the order symbol. He's going to be a very meta-relevant character, and he really likes punches and kicks. So repeat 100% smash is going to be a nice finisher for Paul Phoenix. We can give this thing all sorts of damage. We can spend our momentum to EX3 it. Makes a lot of sense coming up. And it's like if we ever get a set that gives us punches on these symbols, that gives us a solid punch, then repeated instantly goes up in price. Right now, void punches are not too bad. Life and order are probably just a little bit lacking, but they only need like one extra punch, I would say, to take off again, like a Back Alley Haymaker type card. Okay, female Titan attacks. 4-check tribal is here to stay. You know, we have Attack on Titan Set 2 coming out. We have Attack on Titan Set 3 coming out next year. I would be shocked if they went away from 4-check attacks. I think they probably should because they're too powerful, but that's my point. Female Titan attacks is $5 right now. It is on the infinity symbol, which means every character in the game can play this attack. It's a 7 diff, 7 high, 7 4-check. That's solid right there, full stop. And it draws you a card. It's the only shift attack right now in 4-check tribal to draw you a card, and it readies a backup. So as backups get better, female Titan attacks get better. And on the backup side of it, it picks up a kick or punch. So as kicks or punches get better, this gets better. We already have knockdown blow. Knockdown blow is nuts, guys. I made a video about my Reiner deck that I won my local qualifier with using knockdown blow and female Titan attacks. But right now, the thing holding back knockdown blow is that, you know, you gotta be a chaos character. Well, if Attack on Titan Set 2 gives us a chaos character that loves 4-check tribal, knockdown blow and female Titan attacks prices are gonna soar. Female Titan is right now $5. Knockdown blow is like $1. I would say female Titan is the most likely to go up in price because of 4-check tribal and having the infinity symbol instead of being just on the chaos symbol. I think that repeated is going to go from $15 to like $40. I think female will probably go from like $5. Wouldn't surprise me if it's sitting at like $20 in the future. Honestly, $20 feels like what it should be. It's just not right now. And then last up, high velocity slice. This is currently like a $1, $2 ultra rare. And I'm like flabbergasted as to why that is. It's a 4 high 5, stun 1. So it's basically like a 5 high 5 opener that just snaps momentum. Blitz, if this is the only attack in your card pool, add the top card of your deck to momentum. This can set up all sorts of momentum-based strategies. Like I had an All Might 7 deck back in the day based around Heroic Clash, and I was trying to snap momentum with like Cremation so that I could clear my card pool and just keep drawing and playing cards. So if you have a card that just has a momentum gated effect, typically that means you can't use it until turn 3, turn 4. High velocity slice is saying, hey, let's go ahead and use that on turn 2. But it's also just like, it's good in the early game because it gets you momentum. And then if it hits, it'll become another momentum. So it's always ramping some sort of resource, right? And it's really good late game because the deadlock on it is nuts. You can snap your momentum and then say it gets +1 to its stun rating for each card in your momentum. So if you have 4 momentum, you snap another one, that's 5 momentum. Now this thing has stun 6. There are several games where I was playing as Void Rodan, you could probably see on my stream, where it was like, if I draw high velocity slice, I win the game. This is the deadlock threat that my deck needs. I am a poke deck with Rodan, right? Adding things to speed. I'm getting my momentum. I want to have things to cash in this momentum with. And one of the best things is just this deadlock threat. There were several games where I was going against like Carson's Mill Shigaraki deck, where it's like, okay, if I draw double high velocity slice and I say stun 6 twice over, I will win this game. But this is the only card that's going to do it for me. So and it has Breaker 1. So it's a good early game card. It's a good late game card. Sure, you don't want to see 2 of it in your hand most of the time, unless they're your opponent's in deadlock. But it's should still be like 3x'd in a lot of decks. I guess it's fighting for space right now with like Vast Hybrid Chimera Kraken, for example, on the air symbol. That's probably a little bit better of an opener at the moment. But in all my testing of High Velocity Slice, it's been very good. I'm floored that it's only $1 to $2. I don't think it's going to go up in price like crazy, but it should probably be like a $5 ultra rare in my opinion. So there you go. 3 cards that I think could double in price over the next 3 months, especially with Attack on Titan Set 2 coming out. It makes sense to put some Attack on Titan Set 1 cards that could get some more love in the next set. So that's going to do it for this market update, but I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. Any of these top 10 cards that surprised you? What does this say about the meta? Are there any other cards that you think are good buy low candidates? I would love to hear about all of this in the comments below. I'll see you guys next time.